Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have been watching General Hospital for a long time, and I have to say, whenever a man like Jen Sidwell gets pushed into a corner, I know we are never looking at a simple ending. This is not the kind of villain who accepts defeat, puts his head down, and quietly disappears behind prison walls. Sidwell is the type of person who starts thinking 3 steps ahead the moment everyone else believes the game is over. That is exactly why this upcoming trial has my attention. He may be sitting in a courtroom, but I have a feeling the real battle has not even started yet. A courtroom is supposed to be a place where justice wins, but in Port Charles, we all know things are rarely that simple. People like Sidwell have a way of turning every situation into a dangerous game. He does not see prison as the end of his story. He sees it as another challenge that needs to be beaten. And from everything I have seen about this man, I would never believe he is just going to sit there and accept whatever sentence comes his way. What really stayed with me was the explosive confrontation between Sonny and Sidwell at Ava Jerome's gallery. Watching those two men face each other, I could feel the tension through the screen. Sonny has always been a man driven by loyalty and protecting the people he loves. He may have made plenty of mistakes over the years, but when someone crosses a line and threatens his family or the people close to him, Sonny becomes a completely different person. That moment when Sonny almost ended Sidwell, right there, was intense. To me, it was not just about revenge or anger. It felt like Sonny was looking at someone who had caused too much damage and believed the only way to stop him was to make sure he could never hurt anyone again. We have seen Sonny reach that breaking point many times before, and Sidwell pushed him dangerously close to it. But then Justine Turner stepped in and changed everything. She convinced Sonny to step away and allow the legal system to handle Sidwell. I actually found that moment very interesting because it showed Sonny trying to control the darker side of himself. The old Sonny might have acted immediately and dealt with the consequences later, but this time he listened. He let Sidwell be arrested and taken away in handcuffs. Still, I do not think Sonny's anger disappeared just because Sidwell was behind bars. Knowing Sonny the way I do, I believe a part of him still wants Sidwell completely out of the picture. Sonny may have chosen the legal route, but that does not mean he trusts Sidwell to stay there. And honestly, I think that feeling is completely understandable because Sidwell is not an ordinary criminal. This man has resources, connections, and a talent for escaping situations that would destroy most people. He has survived because he always has a backup plan. The moment he realizes the trial could send him away for years, I believe his mind will immediately start searching for a way out. He is not thinking about punishment. He is thinking about freedom. I can easily imagine Sidwell creating some kind of escape plan. Maybe it could involve a prison transport accident, someone secretly helping him from the outside, or another clever trick that allows him to disappear. A man like Sidwell does not need many opportunities. He only needs one weak moment, one person who can be bought, or one mistake from the people watching him. And that is what makes this storyline so dangerous. If Sidwell escapes, Sonny may start questioning whether he made the right choice by letting him live. Sonny wanted to handle things his own way, but Justine convinced him to step back. If Sidwell comes back even more dangerous than before, Sonny might feel like he gave his enemy another chance to strike. For me, that is the most interesting part of this entire story. It is not just about whether Sidwell can escape. It is about what that escape would do to Sonny emotionally. Would Sonny continue to trust the law? Or would he decide that some enemies are simply too dangerous to leave standing? I also would not be surprised if Sidwell tries something even bigger, like making everyone believe he is dead. That would actually fit his personality perfectly. Disappear, let everyone relax, and then return when nobody sees him coming. In a town like Port Charles, a fake death is never impossible, and Sidwell seems exactly like the kind of man who would use that trick if it helped him regain control. That is why I do not think this trial will simply end with Sidwell being found guilty and sent away. That would be too easy, and General Hospital has never been a show about easy endings. This series has always given us unexpected twists, shocking betrayals, and moments that make fans sit back and say, I can't believe they just did that. The biggest question in my mind is not just whether Sidwell will escape. The real question is what Sonny will do if he gets another chance to face him. Because we all know Sonny Corinthos. He can be patient. He can try to make the right choice. He can walk away when he knows he should. But if Sidwell comes back and threatens the people Sonny loves again, that patience may disappear very quickly. So I am watching this courtroom storyline very closely, Something tells me Sidwell's trial is not the end of his story. It may actually be the beginning of his most dangerous move yet. And if he manages to break free, Sonny may be waiting for him, ready to make sure Sidwell never gets the chance to destroy anyone's life again. For me, this is exactly the kind of storyline that reminds me why I have stayed with General Hospital for so many years. It is never just about the action or the shocking moments. The best stories are the ones that make us think about the characters, their choices, and the battles they are fighting inside themselves. And with Sonny and Sidwell, we are watching two very different men who both believe they are doing whatever it takes to survive. Sidwell has always been someone who believes he can control the outcome. He walks into every situation thinking he is the smartest person in the room. He believes money, power, and connections can protect him from the consequences of his actions. But what Sidwell may not understand is that there are some enemies you cannot simply manipulate or intimidate. Sonny Corinthos is not just another person standing in his way. Sonny is someone who has spent his entire life protecting his family and the people closest to him, and that makes him incredibly dangerous when someone crosses that line. At the same time, I find Sonny's side of the story very interesting because he is facing a battle within himself. He had the chance to take Sidwell out, and a part of him clearly wanted to do exactly that. But he stopped. He listened. He chose a different path. That might not seem like a big moment to some people, but for Sonny, that is actually a major decision. It shows that he is still trying to believe there is another way besides revenge. But the problem is, Sidwell may not allow Sonny to keep choosing the peaceful option. If Sidwell escapes, if he hurts someone again, or if he proves that the legal system cannot stop him, I can understand why Sonny would feel like he made a mistake. He gave Sidwell a chance to face justice, and if Sidwell uses that chance to create more chaos, Sonny may feel like he has no choice but to step in himself, and that is the moment I am most curious about. Will Sonny continue to hold on to the man he is trying to become, or will Sidwell's actions push him back toward the man everyone fears? Because we have seen this happen before. Sonny can be calm, thoughtful, and patient, but when the people he loves are threatened, that protective side of him comes out immediately. It is the side that has made him both a hero and a dangerous enemy. I also think Sidwell may underestimate how much damage he has done. Villains like him often believe they are only playing a game of power, but they forget that the people they hurt have memories, emotions, and reasons to fight back. Sonny is not just chasing revenge. He is fighting to make sure Sidwell cannot continue destroying lives. That is why I do not believe this courtroom battle will be the final chapter. In fact, I think it may only open the door to something much bigger. A trial could expose new secrets, reveal hidden allies, and bring out betrayals that nobody sees coming. With Sidwell involved, there is always another plan hiding beneath the surface. And let's be honest, this is General Hospital. We know this show loves to surprise us. Just when we think we understand what is happening, the story takes another sharp turn. A person we trust can betray us. Someone we thought was defeated can return. A simple moment can completely change the future of Port Charles. That is why I will be watching every moment of this storyline. I want to see if Sidwell's confidence finally catches up with him. I want to see if Sonny's decision to show restraint will prove to be the right choice or the biggest mistake he has ever made. And most importantly, I want to see what happens when these two powerful personalities finally collide again. Because when Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell are on opposite sides, there is no such thing as a quiet ending. There will be consequences, there will be surprises, and there will definitely be moments that leave fans sitting there saying, I did not see that coming. So in my opinion, Sidwell's trial is not just about whether he goes to prison. It is about whether he can truly escape the damage he has caused. And for Sonny, it is about whether he can continue to choose patience and justice, even when everything inside him is screaming for revenge. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain. This fight is far from over. Sidwell may think he still has the upper hand, but Sonny has something Sidwell may never understand: the power of having people who believe in him and a reason to keep fighting. And when those two forces finally crash together, Port Charles will not be the same.